Hey guys, let's get more news about Warriors, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Steve Kerr provides ultimate goal for Warriors forward entering pivotal season. If Golden State Warriors forward Jonathan Kuminga needed any more inspiration entering a pivotal fourth season in the league, he may have just found it in the form of an ultimate goal set out by head coach Steve Kerr. While many believe Kuminga is set for stardom following a strong second half of last season, there are still genuine question marks over the 21-year-old's role at the Warriors and whether he'll be a starter come opening night against the Portland Trail Blazers on October 23. Golden State have a deep roster beyond guaranteed starters Stephen Curry and Draymond Green, leaving a host of lineup and rotation queries that Kerr is currently facing. The Warriors need one or two players to emerge from the logjam, and that's just what Kerr would like to see from his young forward. When asked about Kuminga on Monday, Kerr specifically referred to Curry and the two ex-MVP's own fourth-year breakout back in 2012-13. Took Steph 4 years, and that was after 3 years of college, Kerr said. There's nothing guaranteed, it's just you separate yourself from the group and you make it impossible for the coach to not play you. Following an injury-interrupted third season that saw him appear in only 26 games, Curry responded in emphatic fashion and truly began the pathway that's led him to where he is today. The then 25-year-old rose his scoring from 14.7 to 22.9 points per game, shooting an absurd 45.3% from three-point range, while averaging a career-high 38.2 minutes. Curry would finish 11th in MVP voting that season, as well as 8th in Most Improved Player. The Warriors were fortunate to sign Curry to a 4-year, $44 million extension prior to the 2012-13 season, with his rapid improvement making that one of the most team-friendly deals in NBA history. Kuminga is currently facing his own contract situation, albeit the price could be $100 million more if there's an agreement reached before the October 21 deadline. With Andrew Wiggins absent due to illness, Kuminga started at small forward for Golden State in Saturday's preseason opener against the LA Clippers. The former 7th overall pick had 7 points and a team-high 7 rebounds in 19 minutes during the 91-90 victory. Can Kuminga make the jump and emerge as the 35-minute-per-game player that Kerr refers to? It's a question that could make or break the Warriors' season, but there's no doubt that trying to replicate Curry's fourth-year emergence should be the ultimate goal for Kuminga right now. Warriors provide update on former All-Star ahead of second preseason game. After a 91-90 victory over the LA Clippers on Saturday, the Golden State Warriors still won't quite be at full strength for their second preseason game against the Sacramento Kings at Golden One Center on Wednesday. Steve Kerr utilized 19 of the Warriors' 20-man preseason roster on Saturday, with Andrew Wiggins the only unavailability due to illness. Despite returning to practice on Monday following training camp in Hawaii, the 2022 All-Star will remain out for Wednesday's game according to ESPN's Kendra Andrews. Andrews also reported that Wiggins is expected to be ready for the start of the regular season on October 23, but his absence is sure to bring some frustration from both an individual and team standpoint. The Canadian is looking to bounce back from a career-worst year last season. Kerr has already outlined his expectation that Wiggins will feature heavily in the Golden State offense, while declaring that the veteran forward came back in great shape prior to the recent illness. Wiggins was seen on the Warrior bench wearing a mask during Saturday's victory against the Clippers, in which Lindy Waters III hit a game-winning three-pointer at the final buzzer. Without their expected starting small forward, the Warriors turned to an intriguing front-court combination of Jonathan Kuminga, Draymond Green and Tracy Jackson-Davis, with the starting five rounded out by Stephen Curry and DeAnthony Melton in the backcourt. The obvious spacing concerns were present particularly when Golden State were forced into their half-court offense, but Kerr vowed to try the lineup again as he tries to find the best combinations over the course of the preseason. While Wiggins' spot as the starting small forward wasn't completely solidified, he was seen as the most likely third starter alongside veterans Curry and Green, leaving 2 spots available for a plethora of other options on the roster. The Warriors may only be viewing this illness as a minor setback, but it would surely have to put a dent in Wiggins' chances of being the starting small forward for the season opener against the Portland Trail Blazers. At the very least, it does provide an opportunity for Kuminga and perhaps another young player like Moses Moody, with the 22-year-old impressing in Saturday's win with 12 points, 4 rebounds, and 2 steals in 13 minutes off the bench. Golden State will have a further 4 preseason games beyond Wednesday, meaning time is still on Wiggins' side when it comes to generating enough preparation prior to the regular season. Warriors should be keeping tabs on Raptors' big man as possible trade target. Head coach Steve Kerr took a calculated gamble in the Golden State Warriors preseason opener against the LA Clippers on Saturday. Despite having recently stated that Jonathan Kuminga is only a small forward with a shooting 5, Kerr started the fourth-year forward alongside Draymond Green and Tracy Jackson-Davis in a big Warrior front court. It's preseason, so there's nothing to lose, but Saturday's limited minutes didn't exactly prove that the trio would be viable together come the start of the regular season. The lineup's minutes weren't a disaster, yet the spacing issues were obvious when they were unable to get stops and run in transition. Perhaps things will change when Andrew Wiggins is back in the mix and the preseason progresses, but the early signs only further prove the team's need for a shooting big man. Their only option, two-way contracted rookie Quinton Post, looked a fair way from a viable rotation player in his second-half minutes. The 7-footer missed all 3 of his three-point attempts, finishing with 2 points on 1 of 7 shooting in 10 minutes. Having missed out on Lauri Markkanen during the offseason, Golden State should still be scouring the trade market for a stretch big now rather than waiting until closer to the midseason deadline when it will be too late. Another potential, albeit expensive option, Karl-Anthony Towns, is off the market after being dealt to the New York Knicks. With teams waiting to see how their season begins to play out, there's few targets that could be truly obtainable in the short term. One player the Warriors should be monitoring, though, is Toronto Raptors big man Kelly Olynyk. The Canadian was only traded to the Raptors in February, but at 33 years old he doesn't make too much sense on a team that by their own admission isn't exactly prioritizing winning. While not a big name as such, Olynyk is a proven veteran who would fit the bill as a shooting big. He averages 10.3 points, 5.2 rebounds, and 2.4 assists in his 11-year career to date, shooting 48.5% from the floor and 36.9% from beyond the arc on 3.2 attempts per game. Olynyk is starting a 2-year, $26.3 million contract, making it accessible enough for the Warriors to match salaries while incentivizing the Raptors with draft compensation. We know Golden State had interest previously before he was traded to Toronto, and rightly so given his shooting and passing would likely fit seamlessly into their offense. We'll see how things pan once the season gets underway, but Olynyk is certainly a name to monitor for the Warriors as Kerr looks to solve a complicated dynamic in the front court. And you, fan? What do you think of the situation of Kelly Olynyk? Leave your opinion in the comments.